Hi, everybody. It is Monday morning, and you know what that means? There's millions of recruiters all over the world building assets for their recs. But what they're not doing is building a job playbook because that would take them days and they just don't have time. So if they're using poetry, however, it's going to take them under 2 minutes. Let's take a look at this together. I'm here with Stephen. Stephen, welcome.
Hello.
Right, okay, share. So I'm going to log in and I'm going to go into Playbooks. And Stephen, what I'm going to create?
Uh, let's try mechanical engineer, something I used to recruit for on a
Okay,
regular basis.
well, if there's already one in here, we're not going to do that, but there isn't. So what I'm going to do is go into create. It is within engineering. It is a mechanical engineer. Let's say it's full-time on site in London. I click create and then I choose from 20 or so assets. Do I want them all? Yes, because I've not done this before. Click save, build playbook. I'm going to click start on my timer here so we can take a look at how long this is going to take. Build playbook. Right, so first off, it's going to build a Boolean string. It's going to build a brand advert. It's now building a candidate interview template. It's going to build in the candidate offer template. While this is building, let's take a look at the different options you've got for making this playbook absolutely customized and relevant to your organization. So over on the left-hand side, I'm going to click on the megaphone, which is the marketing admin area. And in here, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into global rules. And for you, you would add in your EVP for your organization in here. You would choose what's your company's standard sort of tone of voice, what's your company's standard language, and then you'd select on or off different things around what you're allowing generative AI to do. The next thing you would do is you would go into the content prompts area and you would not click on this content prompts button because you won't have access to it. That's only for us as super admins. This is the secret sauce. This is like, there could be to develop certain assets in here, we could be sending a 200-word prompt into the large language model that we use as default. What you will have access to, though, is this company prompts area. So you fill this in around what does your company do? Why was it started? What's its core values and all this kind of thing. Now, when you filled this in, this is going to really help to return assets which are absolutely bang on for your organization. And then the other thing you're going to do is go into the templates area. And in here, you're going to select the different content assets. And do you want any like fixed introduction, fixed outro? Do you want things like hashtags and things like that? What's a word count? Let's go back and take a look. All right, so we're now down to the end. This is just generating the image, which is the last thing it does before the playbook is complete. So we're now at 1 minute 52 seconds. And right, here's a mechanical engineer. That was 1 minute 59. So as you can see here, we've got our logo on it. You would have your logo on it. You can choose where it goes. You could choose, do I want maybe at the bottom, do I want a URL or do I want a hashtag or some other call to action or something like that? You can see the image, the colors that have been used in here as well. They're based on the Pantone from our brand. So there's quite a lot of different things you can do to make sure that images are, on brand for your organization. You could switch off images. People don't necessarily trust images the way that they trust text with generative AI at this point. So, Stephen, what should we do first? What should we look at?
Yeah, let's just start. Let's just start at the beginning. I think we try and cover as many as we can in a short video. I
Okay.
think just to call out Adam at this point, right? One of the things that we have really tried to work on here at Poetry is the quality of content. So you can see here that we have brand adverts that has got the right introduction. It will then complete a short advert because that's what we've asked it to do, but it's really focusing on the output. More than anything else at this stage, this is what we've really kind of tried to get right. So I think there's a whole host of different things that have gone into that. Hundreds of hours of learning, hundreds of hours of editing and tweaking and all that kind of stuff. But hopefully what you'll start to see as Adam's clicking through a lot of these is really quality output of each aspect of the playbook so far.
In terms of an EVP, we don't recommend that. Of course, what you're going to do is create your EVP in here. But what you can do with this is you can tweak your EVP according to the individuals that you're aiming at. So mechanical engineer, for example, we're looking at what are the things that would most appeal to a mechanical engineer, and maybe re-emphasizing your MVP according to that, and according to like what's the information here in the persona for this, like what's the sort of salary for this person in this location, between 35 and 55,000. What's their educational experience? Have they got any management experience? And what else do they know about? And what are their professional goals, career pain points? What might tempt them with our organization? What are the key issues in their sector and profession? And what are their hobbies and things like that? So it's developing for you. I mean, of course, what you can do is in any of these assets, if you've got personal knowledge or you've done your own bespoke research, you can click edit and then you can save that. Let's do a Boolean string and find some of these people. Okay, so we're in Boolean string, search Google. Here we go, mechanical engineers in London. So it's going to take you to the candidates that you need really quickly. We're aware that there's changes in the way that Boolean strings are working and X-ray search specifically is working. But we're on that and we're looking at it. Let's go into the research area. What are the main responsibilities for somebody doing this job? Here they are. Okay. What other job titles mean the same type of thing? We've templated the questions in here for research to really give you as great of a starter for 10 background on what's this job all about. Some of the ones that I particularly like are things like, who would train people to do this job? These are the academic institutions with the courses for mechanical engineering. Here's the employers within the region who are employing the most mechanical engineers.
I think a couple that I probably like that are just quite simple in terms of generating, but really handy if you maybe haven't done that role before, or maybe been part of that vertical before, is things like kickoff meeting and candidate interviews. Those are things that either from an internal point of view, you need to ask the right questions to a hiring manager, and making them, making it look like you're talking about from the get-go is all part of the wonderful world of recruitment. Vice versa with candidates, right? You want to make sure that you're asking the right questions, and what we've really tried to do here is just generate a kind of starter for 10. In this case, literally 10, because there's 10 of each. But somewhere for you to kind of go and really kind of grab the bull by the horns in terms of, I've never done this before, or I'm new to this, or hey, I've been here ages, but I'm recruiting for this new role that I've never done. How do we start? Right. And of course, first, you're always going to search and see if there's one there before you do a new one, please. But the reality is that hopefully our playbook will now help you with enabling you to be a better kind of all-round recruiter.
Before moving into recruitment technology, you were a recruiter for 10 years, right? You worked RPO, you worked in-house. How long would this sort of thing have taken you previously?
Yeah, so how long would it have taken someone else? Probably like 2 days. How long would it have taken me? Probably about 5. But I think I just wasn't keen on admin and basically kind of the trawling through things to find kind of resources. And this is what excites me about poetry. It's one of the major reasons for joining. It's the ability to take a lot of that kind of headache away. And recruiters first and foremost usually get into the role because they want to deal with people, right? They either like the sales aspect of it or they like the people aspect of it, depending on what angle you're coming from. Nobody's really in it, unless, correct me if I'm wrong, nobody's really in it because they love the admin part of it. There's other roles for that. So I think this takes away, probably in the modern day recruiters world, at least a few days worth of time of you going out and trawling through Teams or other resources.
And realistically, recruiters are not spending days on doing that. They never have. So they've shortcutted most of this is probably what they've done. They've just skipped the process and they're winging it a little bit more than, but I agree. I mean, it would have taken most recruiters days to develop all of this.
Or the other thing that they're doing is using an LLM out there to generate results and not having the guardrails that poetry has in place to around companies, around templates. So maybe what the output that they're getting is different or just not even relevant, which I guess is part of the danger. So
yeah. And then also limited ability to collaborate and recycle things and
exactly.
yeah. All right, Stephen, it is now 11 o'clock on Monday morning, 25th
Already, the week's done
of March.
already, everyone.
Yeah, 25th of March. I'm gonna share this on LinkedIn, and like the next 5 people today who say, right, give me a playbook for whatever it is, just put it in the comments and I'll do your playbook. Cheers.